You can get past the inconsistencies of what they showed as far as the John and Mary storyline in Supernatural versus what they're actually showing in the Winchesters. You might actually really like the show. This is my review of episode 1 of the Winchesters. Just to recap, this is actually a Supernatural spin-off, and it's the prequel to Supernatural, the story of John and Mary Winchester. It is produced by none other than Jensen Ackles. The overall vibe of the show is very much the same as Supernatural. The font, the music, the filming, the comedy with a little bit of action and some mystery, and demon hunting, of course. There is an overall haze over the whole show just to, I think, age it, because I think it's set in the 70s. You also might like that there's a diverse cast with some female leads. I'll say the biggest difference would be that there is kind of a more of a slapstick comedy vibe, a little bit more Scooby-Doo inspired, I think, because they ride around this van, and we all know they were big fans of Scooby-Doo. The storyline, guys, though, like annoyingly familiar, almost unoriginal. John and Mary's dads go missing, so they essentially go monster hunting so they can find their dad. I feel like I've watched this show before. And it turns out that John's father is actually one of the men of letters. There's even a sequence in the car where John is lost his best friend and is having nightmares about them, just very much like the season 1 of Supernatural when Sam lost Jessica. Character-wise, John is very much the Sam in this scenario, kind of trustworthy but hard-headed. And Mary is very much the Dean, cynical but loyal. I would also say a very small downside is there was a very, very, very little Dean appearance in there. To be expected, though. As a standalone show, I do think it's worth a watch. Generally speaking, I am very highly against reboots. I just feel like sometimes they just don't do the reboot justice. But I feel like for this show, because they did it so closely to when the last show actually ended, the vibe of the show hasn't changed very much, which I really like. I'm going to do a longer video on my YouTube, but let me know what you think in the comments.